And so I'm going to bring a gentleman to the line, guys. I'm telling you, his reputation precedes him. He just has a heart as big as Texas. He comes from the great state of Florida. He's a family man, and in business, he has created multiple, not just one, but I love telling people multiple seven big businesses. And when he gets through tonight, you're going to be saying, there's no way that I not be a part of this awesome revolution, what we call our movement. So with that said, T. Lamont, show us how we're going to take advantage of this awesome opportunity. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Boomy. Boomy Moore, I want to thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, the young lady that you just heard from, she is an amazing leader. We've been very fortunate in this industry, 19 years in this industry now. We've been able with great leadership and great leaders to build 4 7-figure businesses. And it was on Boomy's team. She was my enroller in our first enterprise where we really made it big. We built our first 7-figure business enterprise at her mentorship and tutelage, and that of her enrollers who happen to be her parents, just a phenomenal couple, Zeke and Jerry, out of South Carolina. So tip my hat off to Zeke and Jerry on the other side of the webinar. Thank you so much, Boomy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Juby Rev, Juby Max Income Opportunity presentation. Hey, Gwen from Ecuador, I want you to do me a favor. Open up your questions box. Tell me what part of Ecuador you're in. My lovely wife and I will be visiting Ecuador and Chile over the next couple of months. I'd love to find out what part of Ecuador you're in. All right, let's go to work, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to work. We're here to talk about you and how Juby Rev, Juby Max is going to impact your life. Now, Juby Rev is our company's promoter portal. So we'll talk specifically about Juby Rev tonight, you and I making some money. Juby Max is our company's customer portal where we want people to look good, feel good, and live good. Let's talk a little bit about this name Juby. Where does this name come from? You need to understand that even though we've been very successful in this industry, the first 17 years in this industry, we struggled really out of the gate the first 5, 6 years, and we finally caught our stride, and we had great leaders like Boomy and her parents, Zeke and Jerry Stewart, that poured into our lives, hit that first 7-figure business, and then the second one. But here was the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. It is a hollow feeling for you to make 10, 20, 30 grand a month, and then look back and look at your teammates they believe in you and they're supporting you, and they come to your webinars and they come to your offline presentations, and they're there, and then they're not making any money. I thought I just knew, Craig from Jamaica, that when I got to 10 grand a month, I would be at the pinnacle. I got to 10 grand a month, and I looked back and I saw all of my teammates that weren't even making $10 a month or $100 a month. And buddy, I'm going to tell you, it's a sinking feeling. So what we love about Juby Rev, Juby Max is that average, everyday people are going to be able to change their lifestyles in record time, even if they're not good at recruiting or not good at sponsoring. The name, real quickly, Juby, where does that come from? Management said, when they said Juby, I thought, scratching my head, my wife and I scratched our head, Juby? What's a Juby? They said, go look up jubilant. We looked up jubilant. Jubilant, one of the synonyms is triumphant. See, we ran across this revenue sharing model that we're going to feature on tonight a couple of years ago, and it changed everything because all of a sudden we saw our Joe and Susie averages not good at recruiting and sponsoring and selling. We saw them starting to generate revenue on a daily basis where every day could be payday. We saw Joe and Susie average generating enough to cover a car payment. We saw a few Joe and Susie averages generating enough to cover a house note. We saw some Joe and Susie averages. I'm not talking about big time recruiters and builders. I'm talking about Joe and Susie average over a process of time getting to the point where they had a full-time income. So when I saw that jubilant could also mean triumphant from our promoter portal, Juby Rev, we want you to be triumphant. Rev standing for Revenue Sharing Revolution, standing for revolution. Juby Max, Juby could also mean thrilling, excited, elated, ecstatic. We want our customers to be thrilled, excited and elated. Our vision, ladies and gentlemen, Louise from Australia, is to spark a global economic movement and to lead the revenue sharing revolution while empowering people around the globe to look good, feel good, and live good. Bill from Birmingham, JubyRev, as we mentioned before, is our marketing arm of JubyMax. We're going to lead the revenue sharing revolution. And I need you to understand, Daryl, what a phenomenal leader you are in Greensboro, North Carolina. This is not just a company, it is a movement. So what we're going to highlight from the income opportunity standpoint, Danielle from Italy, is the power of this revenue sharing model. This is the model that we stumbled upon, tripped over, bumped into a couple of years ago. We had no idea how powerful the model was that allowed our Joe and Susie averages to finally start making consistent money. And now when we go to the bank and we've got a nice check to deposit, we no longer feel that sinking feeling because we know that every one of our teammates can make money on a daily basis. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to feature from the revenue side is the company actually is going to pay us 10 dynamic ways. We're not going to cover 10 ways here tonight. What we are going to do is feature the one way that impacts all of us, whether you are a big business builder or whether you're someone that you can't get anyone to join you in anything. It is called our JubyRev Daily Leadership Bonus, and once this leadership bonus launches, what will happen is the company's going to share up to 50% or more, Tony in Kentucky, of its daily commissionable sales volume, put it into a pool, and all we qualified promoters will then get a pro rata share of that day's pool. To be qualified does not mean you have to recruit other promoters. We'll place an ad or two a day. We'll give some samples of our product. You'll understand that a little bit more in just a few moments. So the question is, if you can place an ad or two a day, it only takes a couple minutes of your time a day, and you can give away some product samples, and I don't mean you store it up in your garage, but simply allowing folks to register for free, and they decide to get a sample, and our manufacturing facility ships it out to them. If you can do that, ladies and gentlemen, you too can be on your way to earning every single day. That's what we'll talk about, but we do need to understand, Brittany from Nashville, Tennessee, that the income opportunity is only as good as the product offering. So the first thing we want to highlight are some of our products and services, because if we can wrap our mind around the high demand that our products and services will yield, and the fact that people will want to get these products and services again and again and again, and understanding that when there's a transaction in Pakistan or Italy, a transaction in North Carolina or Canada, a transaction down there in Salinas, Ecuador, or over in Peru, that you and I are going to get a little piece of all of those commissionable transactions. Let's talk about it for a moment. One of the things that our management team did is they started consulting, and this is an ongoing consulting relationship, Henry, with a professional affiliate marketing group. Now, affiliate marketers are different than network marketers or multi-level marketers, okay, in that they're not looking to build teams. They're simply moving products online. They do a lot of advertising. They get people to click onto a link. Somebody sees a weight loss or skincare offer. They take up on the offer, and then the affiliate marketer gets paid. Well, this group was consistently generating over 6 figures monthly in revenues from the commissions derived by marketing 4 key product categories. Number one was skincare. Skincare. So we're going to have our very own JubyMax, our customer portal, our JubyMax branded skincare line. Now, I've got to be honest with you. Ladies, please don't beat me up, okay? Joseph in Mississippi, when I first heard of skincare, I thought, I'm a dude. Come on, Herbert, you probably thought the same thing, right? I'm a dude. Me, skincare. And then I started doing some research. I looked at the top 10 companies in the direct selling industry. What are their product lines? I'm talking about like Avon. They do $11 billion a year. Amway's number 2 in the world in terms of this direct selling industry. They do $9.2 billion a year. Natura, number 3, they do about $3 billion a year. Mary Kay, I think, is number 7-ish or so. They do $2.5 billion a year. Of the top 10 companies in the direct selling space, 6 of them, hear me, 6 of them have a skincare line as a part of their product line. So we're going to move a lot of skincare. Dudes, just go look at your wife's or your girlfriend's makeup counter. See how much skincare is on there. A lot of money there. A lot of money there. It's important that we position ourselves in front of the money. Weight loss. This is fast becoming one of the top products that moves online. In the U.S. alone, it's said that over 70% of the adult Americans are overweight. Some 33% are classified as obese. Well, what if folks could get a weight loss sample, a 30-day sample, and what if on average, if people just use one of the meal replacements and do a little cleansing, if on average people during that sample lost 8 to 10 to 12 to 15 pounds, what would that do? You think people would want to come back and buy more of the product and buy more of the product and buy more of the product? And remember, each time that happens, whether that transaction happened in the UK or it happened in Cameroon, Africa, ladies and gentlemen, that's more revenue driven to the company, and that shows up in our daily revenues. Our weight loss program will also include our Juby trainer, so that not only are people losing weight, we want them to keep it off, and we really want people to have healthier lifestyles. Remember, we want people to look good, feel good, and live good. Not everybody's going to go to a gym, so you bring the gym to you, and you find those exercises that work with your lifestyle with the Juby trainer. We've got a phenomenal energy product. Let me tell you just about it. A couple weeks ago, UPS rings my doorbell. They're dropping off samples from our manufacturer of some of these products. And this was before we opened up to the public for people to start the pre-registration stage. I'm a promoter just like you. I happen to be, again, because we've been a top leader in the industry, we were part owner of a company once upon a time. We were able to have some insight as to what was going on with the company when it was going to go out and launch. And so we were working with the programmers and the management team and support. And boy, I took that energy product about 4 in the afternoon on a Monday afternoon. And before I know it, it's 11 o'clock, and it's 12 in the morning Tuesday morning, and it's 2 in the morning, and we're still working, and it's 4 in the morning, and it's 6 in the morning. My son's alarm clock goes off because he gets up at 6 in the morning. I take him to school. And before I knew it, I had worked through the entire night. I did the same thing the next night and the next night. I went 4 straight nights, ladies and gentlemen. My wife would have preferred for me not to have done this. 4 straight nights without ever hitting my bed. We went 96 hours, and we got about 9 hours of sleep, a couple cat naps throughout the day. And we never once felt like we didn't have any energy. If you came to our webinars, we always had energy. Why? We were taking our 3-in-1 energy product. You're going to love that product, ladies and gentlemen. And then Vitality. Well, it's a family show. Look at how she's looking at him. Look at how he's looking at her. You can probably figure out what that means. There's a his formula. There's a hers formula. I was talking with the manufacturer the other day, and we would expect the his formula to fly off the shelf. What he told me is, boy, that hers formula really flies off the shelf. He said you may not get any YouTube videos on that. You may not get any Twitter testimonials or Facebook testimonials, but both his and hers, especially hers, flies off the shelf. Those are the 4 major categories that this professional affiliate marketing group had been marketing without building a team, generating 6 figures, because these products move. The company didn't stop there, however. The company said, you know what? We're going to have, in time, hundreds of thousands and millions of Juby customers, elated customers, excited customers, thrilled customers, Juby customers. And so when they come to us, we want them to be able to save money on other things that they're spending money on. As a matter of fact, since they're going to shop at Walmart and Target and Office Depot and Old Navy and 1-800-Flowers and all of that anyway, Why don't we give them a portal through which they can shop through, and every time they go to a place that they would normally visit, 5,000 merchants, over 300 million products, they get a rebate. It could be 2 or 3 or 5 or maybe even 10%. They make a purchase today, they get a 2, 3, 4, 5, 10% rebate coming back to them. It'll be ACH to them, or it'll be paid out to them via PayPal, and normally somewhere between 30 and 60 days. Now, I want you to imagine this, ladies and gentlemen, when the customer, which could be you and me as promoters, will use that. My wife and I have already determined we're going to take our few $100s a month we spend at Walmart, and we're going to spend it still through Walmart, but through Juby rebates. We'll get a rebate, but for every transaction, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Every transaction also yields profits for the company. If we get 3, 4, 5, 6% back as a rebate, the company might get 1, 2, 3% back as a rebate. Where's that going to show up? In our daily revenue. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, hadn't finished. We have a travel engine. We've got a resort booking engine that's going to allow you to book over 2,000 luxury resorts in over 85 different countries. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, no timeshare presentations. No one is going to try to upsell you on buying a condo and having monthly payments and ever-increasing annual maintenance fees or any of those types of things. Any of our customers will simply choose where they want to go in the world, see what the availability is, and pay a very small weekly fee for that week that would actually be cheaper per night than what you would normally get at not even a 4 or 5-star hotel, but maybe even a 2-star motel. Tremendous, tremendous value. Okay, so you say, oh my goodness, I see what's happening here. What this company has done is they've put all of these major categories, places where people spend money anyway, position themselves in front of the money under one roof. Skincare, weight loss, energy, vitality, Juby rebates, Juby resorts. There's no telling where that product portfolio could lead. But let me tell you the best part from the consumer standpoint. We get to give the consumer phenomenal value in the form of you and I, the promoter, being able to give them a Juby Max gift card. Now, these gift cards will start off being virtual. In time, they may be an actual physical card. But for right now, let's just assume that Kim, who's featured here, registered at your site for free, and in her registration, you've told her up front, maybe she saw your ad online. Remember, you're placing an ad or two a day. Maybe she saw you on Facebook, for those of you who are Facebook folks, or she saw your tweet. Maybe she answered some other promo that you might have out there. Maybe you know her. And your ad said, hey, I'll give you a Juby Max gift card and load it up with 50 Juby bucks. Now, what does that mean? When we give someone a gift card and we load it up with Juby bucks, they can use that gift card as a dollar-for-dollar discount when they come to shop for our Juby branded products. So maybe Kim is interested in skincare. Maybe she's interested in vitality. Maybe she's interested in some of the other product lines that I haven't even talked about. She comes into our Juby portal and she goes to checkout. It's a $100 purchase. Okay? She's excited. She's Juby, right? She's elated. But wait, you gave her a Juby Max gift card loaded up with 50 Juby bucks in my example. So now she goes to the checkout, $100. She gets to apply the $50 Juby card towards that $100 purchase. She just saved 50%. She just saved $50 in that example. So we get to use this Juby gift card with the Juby bucks as a way to invite our customer to come in and consume and get, it's almost like an internal Groupon if you think about it, because it allows the customer to get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, sometimes maybe even 80% or more off the price of what they're purchasing. When? Right now. Hey, we love our Juby rebates. That could take 30, 60 days before they get the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10% rebate. But when does Kim get that discount with the Juby Max gift card? Say it with me. Right now, when? Right now, when? Right now. Now, another thing that we're going to be able to do is we're going to actually be able to give away physical samples of some of our top product lines. Now, what you're seeing right here, this is not the capture page that we'll use. I'm showing you a capture page that this professional affiliate marketing group would use that helped them generate 6 figures in revenue per month. This is not the product line. Our product line will be branded to Juby Max. Now, what will happen here is that our customer will be able to register for free, but they'll also be able to get a physical sample, maybe a 30-day supply of skincare, maybe a 30-day supply of the weight loss product. The whole idea is possession is 9/10 of the law. We want the customer to touch, feel, use the product, become Juby about the product, excited, elated, ecstatic about the product. Now when they run out of the product, they want to come back and buy some more. Wait a minute, let's put it all together. They come back to buy some more, and you gave them a Juby gift card, so when they come back and buy some more, they can use the Juby gift card as a discount to purchase again. And then maybe the next month it happens again. And then the next month it happens again. And then the next month it happens again. And every time they come back and shop again and shop again and shop again, those are the transactions. Those yield revenues. Those revenues show up where? Every single day in our daily revenue sharing program. By the way, this is the beautiful part. Joe average, Sue average. Maybe you're not good at recruiting or sponsoring or selling. But you know what just happened? You would be overriding the production of the entire company. I can tell you right now, our top personal enroller, Frank, I believe he's out of Germany. I don't know if Germany or Thailand. When I see him on Skype, it's Germany, but in the back office, I think I saw Thailand. So I'm not sure where he's out of. Frank has personally enrolled over 700 folks. Well, maybe you won't enroll 7. Who knows? You override Frank and his entire team. You override Boomy Moore and her entire team. You override Vic and Jerry Stewart. You override yours truly, because all of that production you and I are going to get a little piece of each and every day. All right, now, we've talked enough. We've talked about the product, and I want you to understand what just happened here. Most income opportunity presentations, if it's a 45-minute presentation, ours will be about that length. 43 minutes is on the compensation, swinging around the chandeliers, smoke and mirror some hype. 2 minutes on the product or service. And what we have found is that you can have the best income opportunity in the world, but if it's built on a shaky foundation of subpar products or services, it won't last long. It'll have a nice 18-month run, nice 2-year run. We're not interested in that. We're not interested in that. This is not a money game. We want this to be named among some of the top companies in the industry, the ones that have been around for 10 and 20 and 30 and 50 and Avon since 1886. Okay? That's what we're after, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the money. So let's say the company generates $1 million that day. $1 million in revenue, Sal. The company is going to share up to 50% of that revenue, up to 50%, or in this example, let's say $500,000. Okay. Now, what the company is then going to do. So in this example, what happened is the company is going to share up to 50% of the $1 million it generated that day in this example, for example purposes, okay? And it's going to divide the $500,000 by the total number of active Juby points. Wait a minute, Lamont, I haven't heard you mention Juby points, okay? Essentially what a Juby point is, it is a measure of your pro rata share of the company's daily revenue. See, we've got Gwen from Salinas, Ecuador. So how much of that day's revenue, how much of that $500,000 does Gwen get that night versus how much does Clarence from California get? Or how much does Dusty from Alpharetta, Georgia get? Or how much does Mary in Kansas get? It's all determined by Juby points. So let's show you real quickly how to score, how to earn Juby points. Well, anytime you load a Juby gift card with Juby bucks, however many bucks you loaded, if you loaded 10 Juby bucks, you would earn the same amount of Juby points. If you load 50 Juby bucks, 100 Juby bucks, 200 Juby bucks, you'd earn 200 Juby points. So however many bucks you load onto a card is the number of Juby points you're going to wind up earning for daily revenue sharing purposes. That's one way to earn Juby points. Another way is to give away the physical samples. Remember we said that someone may come to your site and say, ooh, I want to get this 30-day supply of the weight loss. Well, that 30-day supply of the weight loss would require that you had some inventory, some virtual inventory, product inventory in the form also of Juby bucks. And it may require that you had to have 100 Juby bucks in your virtual inventory. Now, when I say virtual inventory, because you don't have to physically store up the weight loss product. So when they decide to bring out their credit card to cover the shipping and handling for the weight loss product being sent to them or the skincare product being sent to them, all right, the system looks and says, oh, you've got enough virtual inventory to cover that, and we're going to convert the amount of bucks needed for that sample to be sent out into Juby points. So if it was 100 Juby bucks that you needed for that weight loss, then you're going to score 100 Juby points. So look at what just happened here. The more Juby points, the more Juby bucks you load on gift cards. The more Juby points, the more physical samples you give away. The more Juby points you earn, the more of the daily's revenue reward you're going to receive. Okay? So what should we take from that, deduce from that? We want to build up our Juby points. Okay. All right, so now what's going to happen is the company takes the amount it's going to share that night in terms of revenue, $500,000 in this example, divided by the number of active Juby points. Now you know how to score some Juby points. And each point is going to receive a reward. We will refer to this as a reward per point. We're going to stay away from using banking or investment terminology. So we're not going to say, hey, we got a certain percentage. We're not going to say things like compounding or investment. We're going to stay away from those types of words. Those words become problematic in a regulatory sense. A reward per point has no banking or investment connotation. So let's say that you had 100 JPs, 100 Juby points, and your reward per point, by the time it was all factored in, you earned a total reward that evening of $1.25. Now, we're going to be rewarded each night in additional Juby bucks. And what we can do with those Juby bucks is we can convert as much as 60% of those Juby bucks into actual commission. So you could tell the system, hey, before you give me my reward, I want 60% or 50% or 10% to go straight to my cash account for commissioning purposes. The others give me the Juby bucks. Now, why do you want to have your reward in Juby bucks? Because that now means you have more inventory. And the more Juby bucks you have in inventory, the more inventory you get to give away, the more samples you get to give away. The more samples you give away, the more Juby cards you load up with Juby bucks, the more Juby points you earn. So let's say that someone else had 1,000 Juby points. I feel a cough coming on, excuse me. Well, all you do is move your decimal one place to the right, and so your reward would have been $12.50. What if you had 10,000 Juby points? And this is what we started to see. A couple years ago, we ran into a model like this, okay? And Joe Average, Sue Average, maybe started off with 100 points, and then they built up to 1,000 points, and over a process of time, they built up to 7,718 points, and through a process of time, they built up to 10,000 points. Could you imagine for your daily reward 125 Juby bucks? Then we start to see some folks build up to 100,000 points. All you do is move your decimal, or in this case, you add a zero. Look at what the daily reward could have been here. Look at what the daily reward, does this now become life-changing? So we saw two things. We saw Joe and Susie Average perhaps had never made money in this industry, or at least hadn't made it consistently before, starting to generate some life-changing, lifestyle-changing revenue. And then we saw the folks that had made money in this industry before, in many cases, make more than they had ever made in a much shorter and condensed time period. We even saw some folks hit 1 million points, and I believe that we'll get folks here inside of a few months that will hit 1 million Juby points. Now, regulators are not going to like me to show what that could equal. That's a huge number, but you just notice what we've done years, we would just add a zero. You do the figures on that. And we saw that, ladies and gentlemen. We saw that again and again and again and again. Okay, now, here's the beautiful thing about these Juby points. For years, 19 years I've been in this industry, I always heard preached monthly residual income. Monthly residual income. And then what happened is when we ran into this model, for 17 years we preached monthly residual income. When we ran into this model, we said, wait a minute, this isn't monthly residual income. This isn't even weekly residual income. This is daily. What do we mean? Because each of these Juby points that you earn can earn for a period of somewhere between 80 to 105 days. Now, you'll learn the difference between, points earning for 80 days versus 85 versus 95 versus 105. But just for the purposes of this example, let's say your points are earning for 105 days. So what that means is if you had 10,000 Juby points tonight and you earned a reward of 125 in Juby bucks and you decided, well, I don't really need any commissions right now, so I'm going to let that all stay in my Juby bucks and then I'm going to give those away so I can have another 125 Juby points. So then the next night you'd have 10,125. And you say, well, I'd earn on that. You don't really need the commissions right now. Of course, if you need it, set your system so that you're getting some commissions. But if you didn't, then the next night you might have 10,200 and some change. What we have taught as a strategy, you're a big boy, you're a big girl, you decide to do what you need to do, but what we've taught as a strategy is, well, since these Juby points are earning for up to 105 days, so those first 105 days, none of your Juby points retire. Once they've hit 105 days, we say those points have retired. They've earned as much as they're going to earn. Well, if you spend that first few weeks, maybe the 105 days in this example, just building on those Juby points, man, those Juby points might be 20,000, 30,000, maybe even more Juby points. And it just grows and it grows and it grows. And and what that potentially means is, what did I just show you here? The more Juby points potentially you have, the more your daily potential reward. And so what happens is, you score Juby points next Tuesday, they earn for 105 days up to that amount. You score Juby points on June the 14th, they earn for as much as 105 days. You score Juby points August the 16th of this year, they earn for up to 105 days. And now for the first time, we had Joe Average, maybe who still hadn't recruited one promoter. We had Sue Average, maybe who still hadn't recruited one promoter. They were earning every single day. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're talking about and why there's such a buzz going around the world. All right, now, that's one way that the company is going to share with you. I'm going to tell you that there is a video inside of our portal that breaks that down in such great detail that once you go through that, you will have no questions about how that all works. And we'll show you where that video is in just a few moments. Now, let me share with you one other way that the company is going to pay us, and this is huge, and here's why. I've been saying what happens if you don't recruit or sponsor. Many of you are going to go out and tell some friends and tell your Facebook family, and we've already had folks that have already personally enrolled 200, 300, 400 enrollees on this pre-registration period. Others of you that aren't really good at recruiting and sponsoring, let me tell you what we think is going to happen. Okay, we think that as you give away these samples and people use the products, they have a Juby product experience, elated, thrilled product experience, that some of those are going to have an entrepreneurial bone in their body. And they're going to find out that they too could give away samples and make money. And we believe that some of you are going to stumble upon, trip over, bump into a promoter, someone that you recruit. Now, what happens when they come and join, and like you and I are going to want to do, we're going to want to purchase a Juby executive package. A Juby executive package gives us virtual inventory of those Juby bucks so that we can give away Juby bucks on Juby gift cards as well as the as samples. There's going to be a few options. You can get a $100 package, a $250, $500,000 package, $2,500 package, and you can purchase as many of these packages as you have the resources for. Purchase as large as of a package as your resources allow. Just don't hurt your family. Don't go into debt or anything like that. Now, if you want to purchase more $2,500 packages, as long as you give away at least 70% of the contents of the first package, you can do so. Okay. Now, we've not yet opened up for you to purchase packages. So right now, don't even worry about this. You know, hide your credit card, hide your checkbook. Okay. I just want to show you how this is going to work. Let's say that you refer me. You refer me. I come aboard and I am juby. I am juby. I'm excited. I'm triumphant. I'm elated. All right. You refer me, and I have the resources to purchase a $2,500 Juby executive package, my inventory package. Okay. You're going to get a commission on that up to 10%. So you're going to earn up to $250 because I purchased that package. Now look at what's going to happen. That's going to go straight into your what we will call your e-cash, which is basically where your cash is, and then you can commission that out if you want to take that out as commissions. Or you could take that and pay your monthly subscription. There'll be a few monthly subscription options. You'll want to consider having one of those monthly subscriptions so that you can make all of the money and not just some of the money. And so you can cover your monthly subscription so that hopefully in time your subscription payment comes from profits and not your pocket. You'll also be able to purchase more virtual inventory, purchase more Juby Bucks. Give those Juby Bucks away, generate more Juby points for any combination of what I've just shared. Now, here's the beautiful part, though. As I start to build up my Juby point totals, I'm going to earn every night that I have met my daily requirement. A couple of ads I gave away, a couple of ads I placed, and I gave away some samples. Okay, let's say I'm now up to 10,000 Juby points. I earned 125, and that number is not constant. That number is going to forever be changing. It'll be up and down and down and up. All right, and I was paid in Juby Bucks. I didn't decide to commission anything out just yet. You're going to get a referral income on the amount that I was paid that went to my Juby Buck balance that night. So if 100 went to my Juby Buck balance and I put $25 in commissions, you're going to get paid on the 100 Juby Bucks that went to my balance. If 75 went to my Juby Buck balance, you're going to get paid on that 75. In this case, 125 went to my Juby Buck balance. You get 10%. You get $12.50 override there. Well, what about if that happens the next night? Maybe 110 went to my Juby Buck balance. The next night, you'd get $11. Maybe the next night, 132 went to my Juby Buck balance. The next night, you'd get $13.20. And this is what started to change things. All of a sudden, we saw folks that their overrides, perhaps from one person that they had referred that started to build up their point totals, sometimes their overrides covered a house note. We saw where folks sometimes overrides became an income. And then what we had heard for 19 years in this industry began to ring true. They said, you are one recruit away from an explosion. I wish I could really share with you some stories. Regulators won't let me go into too much detail. I'd love to share your story about a 70-year-old couple on Social Security and how they referred just two folks. One went to work and one never referred a soul, and what that meant for that couple. But regulators wouldn't let me say that right now. Just know it was life-changing. We could go story after story after story after story. First 17 years, go to the bank, big check. But boy, there was an empty feeling because I knew most of my teammates weren't even making enough to hit their monthly auto ship or subscription. Last 2 years, all of our teammates that would simply do a little bit of work would make money every single day. And I believe JubyRev, JubyMax will be the standard bearer in the revenue sharing revolution. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've only shared lightly a couple of ways that we're going to pay you. I didn't share what happens if your referrals refer, and if their referrals refer. I didn't share with you something called our Juby Suite, and the fact that through as many as 8 additional folks can be paid. There's 11 folks that can be paid every time there's a package purchase, every time someone gets a reward in Juby Bucks. 11 people in our system can be commissioned on that. I didn't cover that. I didn't cover matching bonuses. I didn't cover the Juby luxury car bonus where you could get your choice of a Porsche or Mercedes or a BMW paid for by the company, a $700 allotment. I didn't even cover that. Don't have time to cover that. But here's what you're going to do. You want to, one, get back to the person that referred you, and you want to register through their link. When you register through their link, ladies and gentlemen, we're not asking you for any payment information. It's a very simple process. It takes about a minute, no more than 2 minutes. And as soon as you have registered, it's going to bring you to a thank you page, and you're going to see your promoter links. So as soon as you've registered with the person who referred you, you're going to be registering at jubyrev.com/their username. As soon as you've registered there, you'll see your link, and then you can start distributing your link to others. Remember, because we're not asking anybody for any money right now, get that link out to as many people as you possibly can. Even if they say, well, I don't know what this is, hey, just register for free, come to the next webinar, and come inside of our system. We're doing training and all of those good things to help you and them understand about our system. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded this part of the webinar. Now, as our custom is, what we tend to do after we conclude the webinars, we tend to have a couple of optional sessions. If you have to go, we love you and welcome you to our Juby family. We're going to do about a 10, maybe a 15-minute walkthrough of our back office. So maybe you've just joined us. We want to show you some highlights. Maybe you're going to join us as you get back with the person who referred you. And then we'll also do an optional 10 to 15-minute Q&A. This is all optional. All right, so give me just a moment. We're going to log into the back office real quickly. I'll be coming from a training back office here. And what will happen is you'll be registering with your, excuse me, your enroller at jubyrev.com. But when you're going to log into your back office, you're going to log into jubymax.com/members. jubymax.com/members. Give me just a moment. Let me go on and log into our test site here, our training site, I should say. Bear with me. Almost there, almost there. All right, so we want to just take you through a very quick walkthrough. You should see the screen changing in just a moment once I'm in. There we go. Okay, a few things I want to just highlight here, okay? So when you first come in here, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to look up here where it says your enroller. You should see the name, the email address, and the phone number of the person that is enrolling you. Now, if the person that's enrolling you is using maybe a business name, you might not be familiar with their business name. So you might just want to, shoot them an email or however they connected with you. Hey, I just want to make sure that I'm connected with the right enroller. The company set up a catch-all position because we knew that in this stage of just getting started with the pre-registration, there might be a glitch here or there, and wanted to make sure that everybody gets associated to whom they should be associated with. If you see that your enroller is some dude named James Douglas, and your enroller isn't James Douglas, Sue Johnson enrolled you, all right? What this tells us is that something happened during your registration, and what we want you to do is we want you to come over here, click support. Our support staff is extremely responsive. Click support, issue a support ticket. Let them know, hey, I'm connected to James Douglas. That's not who should be my enroller. Let support know who your enroller should be. Now, if you happen to know your enroller's username, it would just help support to help you sooner. If you've already started getting out your promoter link and you've got other folks that have enrolled with you, but you're showing connected as James Douglas, and now hey, I need to be with Sue Johnson, Okay, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The moment they click the button to move you to Sue, your entire team follows you. Okay? Again, very few people have that, but there's a few out there, and we want to make sure that everyone gets connected where they should be connected. That's number one. Number two, there's a video here. One of the things I want you to commit to, and those of you that are building your teams, please stress this to your teammates. I want you to commit to spending some time every day going in your back office, familiarizing yourself with some of the functionalities. Maybe you can allot 10 minutes a day. So allot 10 minutes uninterrupted time to go in your back office and go through some of the functionalities. Maybe it's a half an hour a day. Allot that half an hour a day. The first thing I want you to do in terms of once you're with your correct enroller is I want you to watch this video here. This is a 4-minute and I think 44-second video. It's a powerful video that talks about the revenue sharing model. As a matter of fact, it's so powerful what the company has done. If you go under marketing, under daily ad placement, marketing, daily ad placement, click there, then sample approved daily ads, marketing, daily ad placement, sample approved ads, marketing, daily ad placement, sample approved ads. Under there, there's a video tab. That same 5-minute video, 4-minute and 44-second video is right for those of you that have blogs or you've got your own training systems or however you communicate with your following. You can take that video that's been professionally done, won't cost you a dime. You can embed that on your blog. Joe, Susie Average, I'm not good at recruiting. I'm not good at sponsoring. I don't know what to say, but you have a Facebook account. You can share that on Facebook so it goes on your wall. You can tweet it out to your Twitter followers, okay? Very, very, very powerful tool, and the company in the next 2 to 3 weeks will have another video that will be coming out, a professional video that they will be releasing here real soon. Okay, so watch that one first. Number 2, watch this video, JubyRev Members Area Overview. Here we give you a tour of your back office, and in that tour it's going to take you through the quick start. You definitely want to finish your quick start. It only takes about 10 minutes to go through your quick start. While you're here, you can go on and friend on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and by the way, there's a YouTube piece here. Go to YouTube, go on and subscribe, but what I want you to understand is that there'll be some videos here that the company has sanctioned for you to be able to use in public forums. So if you go to the company's YouTube channel, you can come to any of these videos. You can share those videos, send them out in the link, post them on Facebook, tweet them out, so on and so forth. Again, the company is putting out materials so that Joe Average, Sue Average, you don't have to keep singing the song, I can't recruit or sponsor, I don't know what to say, I don't know this information, and you know that this information is compliant because it's coming and endorsed by the company. All right, let's go back here to your home page. All right, everything that's up here, very important. News. There's a couple ways to do news. You can click news here, or you'll have news scrolling down here. I tend to think the best way is to simply click here because this will take you to the latest news report. Can you feel the excitement? Have you heard the buzz? With over 30,000 members to date, and that's over about a week-and-a-half time period, okay? All right, so you can see the news there. There's a calendar function so that you can stay on tap with all of the conference calls and webinars that the company's producing. I already know that great leaders out there are already starting to have their own conference calls and webcasts and webinars, getting the word out in the way that they tend to present before their following. But we have these opportunity and training webinars for everyone, so it doesn't matter who your enroller is, it doesn't matter who they're connected to or not. You can always come here and know that you're going to get a polished corporate endorsed presentation. So you just look here and it'll give you the next webinars, the webinar links, so on and so forth. We tend to load it up the next week. We'll get to maybe Thursday or Friday this week and we'll load up next week. And then we'll take all of this off so it'll be nice and clean, and you'll know a week in advance what is coming up. So you can plan your schedule around it. Your teammates can plan their schedule around it as well. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so 12 noon. We would do exactly what we've done here tonight. We'll do that at 12 noon tomorrow. So maybe you can get away from lunch if you happen to be in the U.S., or maybe you're across the globe, and that 12 noon fits you better Eastern time. By the way, each one of these links will have a time and date converter. Each one of these links will have a time and date converter, so you can see what 12 noon Eastern means when you're in Salinas, Ecuador. Or what is 12 noon Eastern if you're in Cameroon, Africa, so on and so forth. Okay. All right, let's go back to home. Don't forget your promoter link. Promoter link's right here. This is where you're going to be able to get your link that you can send out and get that link out to everyone. I made a mistake once upon a time. I was with a company that had a revenue sharing model, and I joined with that company, and it was a very dear buddy of mine who now is one of the top personal enrollers here with JubyRev, and I waited to get him my link. And by the time I got him my link, someone else had already gotten their link to him, and he had already joined with them. But we've known each other for years, great buddies. And so he built that thing, and he built that thing. He built a team of just under 500,000 affiliates in about a 18-month time frame. Boy, I'm so excited about his story, so excited about what that meant for him. But boy, did I lament the fact that I didn't get those overrides that I could have gotten. And he would have joined me had I just gotten him my link. So make sure you get your link out to everyone. Hey, you email it out, you tweet it out, you Facebook it out. If they haven't clicked onto it, they haven't joined you, do it again the next day. Do it again the next day. You know, I would send it out until they tell me to either stop sending it out, all right, then I politely stop sending it out, or they go on and join, all right? Because sometimes your best recruit won't join you on the first occasion. But if you send it out, and then somebody else sends it out, and you send it out again, they say, well, gosh, what is Joe, man, I keep getting this same stuff about this JubyRev thing. Let me see what Joe's been sending me. Click on it, Joe, and they register with you, and they might become a huge business builder, even if they don't become a huge business builder, but they just start building their Juby points, you know, consistently, day after day after day after day, and you're getting those overrides day after day after day, potentially. Okay, a couple other things here, and then we'll go into an optional Q&A. Training. Over here in training, very, very important. The company's going to have a lot of video training. So there's a back office orientation. There's already 4 videos back here. One gives you back office overview. One gives you a video on the internal messaging system. How can you communicate very effectively with your personally enrolled? How can you communicate from the system very effectively with the person that enrolled you? This video number 3 talks about financials. This is where in time you're going to be going back and you're going to be looking at your commissions. You're going to be looking at, hey, I want to load funds into the system. Hey, I want to cash out, get commissions from the system, so on and so forth. And this is a must-see. This is support. Very important that we understand how we want to deal with support. We want support to be efficient, but there's some things that we can do to assist support in assisting us. And as we grow and grow and grow, obviously that puts more and more demands on support. So this is one of those videos that is to me, all of these are must-sees, but this is definitely a must-see, and communicate that with your field force so that support always stays good, streamlined. We want to have award-winning support. Back here where it says training and comp plan, there are 10 ways a company pays. There's one video back here now. We take the revenue sharing model that we've talked about, and we go into great detail. If you think you understand the revenue sharing model, but you haven't watched this video, I promise you if you watch it, you're going to say, oh, wow, I didn't understand it that much. I didn't understand it that way. Now I really get it. The second video we just re-rendered, got it over to support. Hopefully it'll be up maybe tomorrow. That's going to be on the override income. And then we're going to be placing videos on all of the other ways the company is going to pay. It's taking a little bit longer than what we had hoped because it does take some time to render And sometimes corporate says, hey, I need you to change this or change that, in which case we have to go back and re-render. But we're going to have all of those videos up on each way the company pays, as well as the various requirements to make sure that you are in a position to get all of the money. That's under training. One last thing I want to share with you for tonight, call and webinars. This also shows you, again, your calendar. But when we do live webinars, there was a webinar that we did recently that was just rendered and edited and was gotten over to corporate. They're going to be placed under recorded calls. So we did a training last week on something called the Juby Suite that has been recorded and edited and rendered, gotten over to corporate so they can put that under recorded calls. So if you're looking to see if there's been some training of some live webinars or what have you that we've done, you'll find that under calls or webinars. Okay, so that's enough for that, ladies and gentlemen. Now what we're going to do, this is all optional once again, is we're going to do an optional Q&A. So if you have questions, this would be the time to open up your questions box. One of the things I love about what Juby does, I don't know that I've seen it done like this. You know, a lot of times companies will have the presentation and then it's just over. What I love about JubyRev says, hey, we want to earn your respect and your confidence and your trust. We're not going to take it for granted just because there's a revenue sharing model that everybody's just going to come and join. We want to earn your promotional respect. And so we like to do this 10, 15-minute optional Q&A to get to as many questions as we possibly can. Give me just a moment, okay? Give me a moment. All right, so someone is saying, all right, so let's say I don't have a lot of financial resources today, okay? But I'm able to get quite a few people registered in this pre-registration phase, and then they start purchasing packages. Is that a way, if I don't have a lot of resources to purchase a large package or what have you, or a lot of inventory, is that a way that I can help to subsidize my business? The answer to that question is yes. Now, one thing I didn't get a chance to cover that is covered as you come inside and watch the one of the other videos, and of course we can't cover everything in a 45-minute presentation, is, give me a moment, let's make sure you guys are going to see this. Yeah, okay. There are 4 monthly subscription options, right? And this is all in US dollar terms. There's a $15 a month option, and there are multiple ways to get to this rank, but if you have the $15 a month subscription option, that immediately allows you're at the rank of what we call a J promoter. That means that your Juby points have an 80-day life cycle. The next rank is Ruby. Other ways to get there, but the easiest way is for you to have the $50 a month subscription. That gives you 85 days. If you are Emerald, the easiest way to get there, not the only way, the easiest way to get there is a $100 a month subscription. That gives you 95 days on your Juby points. And then Diamond is our top subscription, the top rank, $200 a month, 105 days. I shouldn't say top rank. That starts your top rank, okay? All right, now, here's what, so the person is asking, all right, maybe I don't have a lot of resources right now to purchase a huge package, but I certainly see that I want to have more Juby bucks so I can give away more Juby bucks to earn more Juby points. What if I start, referring folks? Does that help me? Yes. What I would say is, once we're ready to start taking purchases, which will probably happen in the next week and a half, if not sooner, maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks, if not sooner, is I would have you to get as large of a monthly subscription as your resources allow, price that into your budget, and then what happens is this allows you to get larger commissions. So now when people start to purchase packages in your organization and they start flowing up in terms of commissions, you can take those commissions. 1, you can cover your next monthly subscription. 2, you can then take those commissions. If you don't need to put it in the pocket, you can use that to buy more inventory and generate more Juby points. We happen to be, we were with a company that had a pre-registration similar to what we're doing with JubyRev. We didn't really get it initially. This is why we're pushing this so hard now. And in that pre-registration, people could register for free. And then when it got to the pre-launch stage where people could purchase packages, what happened was we had a lot of folks purchasing packages, and some of our folks that didn't have a lot of resources, boy, they earned. We saw people earn tens of thousands of dollars in commissions, and they were able to then have resources to get more packages themselves, so that they could generate more and more Juby points. What we hope is going to happen is that we're going to have some promoters out there that by the time we're ready for the daily revenue payouts, that they have generated 50,000, 75,000, 100,000 or more Juby points. Imagine the power of that. So yes, to the person who asked that question, that's a great way. That's a great way to help your business if you get your links out and start to refer some folks, okay? Will JubyMax offer business cards to hand out? Lisa, obviously, there's been so much happening behind the scenes. I'm sure there'll be a whole line of offline things that you'll be able to do. I will tell you, I'd have you to be an entrepreneur. Many of you have like your own website, like joinlisa.com, or you've got your own whatever. Feel free right now to go out and get you some business cards if the company hasn't put anything back in the back office. And it may not say JubyRev. It may not say JubyMax. It may say, joinsusan.com and talk a little bit about revenue sharing or what have you. Lisa, I'm sure there'll be a whole line of promotional things both on and offline. There's already some online promotional things. As a matter of fact, if you go back, I did neglect to do this. If you go back under marketing, daily ad placement, and then, bear with me, daily ad placement, sample approved ads. There's also back here some banner ads. Some of you like to do banner advertising. Some of you are doing some things in some traffic exchanges and some other places, some banner exchanges. There's some great banners for you back here. And if you're looking for a message, maybe to put on the card, maybe just take a clue from something that's back here already, okay? Great question, Lisa. Bear with me. Tony's asking, will this webinar be available in the back office? It already is, Tony, but let me tell you, the best thing that you can do, particularly if you want to get this webinar seen by others, is if you will go to the YouTube channel. Right here, my friend, is this same presentation. I didn't record tonight, but it's the same information. Okay, same information. We recorded this a little while ago. So this is a great way to essentially get someone in front of this type of presentation. If you like the format of what we did tonight, this was recorded and it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, in your back office, even on the home page over here to your right-hand side, you'll see the various icons. Just go to YouTube channel. That's going to take you right here. It's the very first video that you see right there. Okay? Great question, buddy. Great question. Give us a moment. By the way, we had a training webinar last night, and the company gave away $500, actually $600, $100 to 6 individuals. So congratulations to those of you who won on last night. All right, the question is, will you be able to give samples to a pool, or will you have to give it to a direct customer? Lyndon, I think I know where that question comes from, buddy, and if it comes from where I think it came from, where there was a company that did had a pool deal with bids, I don't think from a regulatory standpoint that was the best way to do it. So we're going to be giving it to a customer as opposed to giving it to a pool, okay? If I purchase a $2,500 package and give away 500 Juby bucks, let's say, on one day, do I earn on 2,500 or the 500? You earn on the points are generated as you've given away the Juby bucks. So if you purchase a $2,500 package, as an example, and you've given away 500 bucks from that package, you've earned 500 points. Your earnings would be based on the 500 points. Now, Lyndon, the company is not going to be able to endorse any third-party systems out there, but I can already tell you that there are great leaders out there that already have third-party systems in waiting that getting customers, if you follow some of those great leaders out there, won't ever be an issue. So having customers being able to register, there were some folks that had a webinar tonight, as a matter of fact, where they were talking about a co-op, to get customers. So there'll be customers should not be an issue. Again, from a corporate standpoint, when I'm on this webinar, doing a corporate webinar, I can't specify any specific sources to go to, but get back with the person who enrolled you, and they should be able to direct you to leaders that will have some sources for you. Okay, my friend? Okay, Andre, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Andre asked if we could talk about, again, the behavior versus an entitlement society. I was on Skype, and one of my Skype buddies had sent out a Skype. He was promoting another opportunity, and one of the things that he said is he talked about this new deal, and it was going to be this matrix, and he said, man, if you join my team, you're going to get all of this spill if you join my team. And I respect the guy as a marketer, and I said, hey, do you mind if I give you a pointer or two? Again, this comes from 19 years in the industry. I haven't built 4 7-figure businesses. I think I know a little bit about the industry. And he said, sure, not a problem. I said, you might want to just change how you're saying that, because that sounds like you're going to create an entitlement society. Hey, I need to join this guy. He's going to build my business for me, and if I don't get enough spill because I feel entitled, then I'm going to get mad at this guy. Versus having a behavior that says, you know what, we all make money as the company has revenues. Well, we've got a system called a Juby Suite. Didn't get a chance to talk about it tonight. It's one of the videos that should show up over the next day or so in your back office. I want you to pay attention, write this down, go under calls and webinars, in your back office under recorded calls. We did a training on this last week. We did all the editing and what have you, got it to corporate. So this should go up. Hopefully it'll be up there as early as tomorrow. Calls and webinars, recorded calls. It's going to be on the Juby Suite. I want you to spend some time learning about that Juby Suite, because this is a way to generate the proper behavior where people are not sitting back waiting on their enroller to build their business. If it's to be, it's up to me. But they want to engage in helping to build the business, knowing that when they do so, that helps to generate more revenue for the company. If it generates more revenue for the company, we all make more money. Okay? Next question here. We've got 6 more minutes in this optional Q&A. Will customers be able to earn? Will customers be able to earn? There is a complete distinction between a promoter, and the company refers to us as promoters, not affiliates or reps or distributors, but it's the same thing. They just call us promoters, okay? There's a distinct difference between a promoter and a customer. A customer does not earn revenue. They don't earn commissions. A customer can get a rebate when they are going through our Juby rebates, okay? Now, a promoter, there can be a free promoter where someone does not have a monthly subscription. They have not had the sales activity to automatically be upgraded to, let's say, Jade or Ruby or what have you. When I was talking about these monthly subscriptions, I talked about the ranks. All right, you can sell your way to Jade. You don't have to have a monthly subscription. You can sell your way to Ruby. You can sell your way to Emerald. You can sell your way to Diamond, but most people don't like necessarily having to sell. So the path of least resistance is to have these monthly subscriptions yourself. If you have not sold your way to Jade and you don't have a monthly subscription or what have you, can you still earn some money? The answer is yes. You can't earn in the daily revenue pool, though, and that's the biggest, that's one of the biggest pieces. You can earn some overrides, but your override percentages would not be the same as if you were at a Jade or Ruby or Emerald or Diamond rank. So if you don't have one of these ranks because either you didn't have a monthly subscription and you didn't do the sales activity required to get you there otherwise, you would be leaving money on the table. But yes, a free promoter can make a little money. But now the question is, do you want to make some of the money? Do you want to make all of the money? I hope you said all of the money, okay? Someone is asking, what are the percentages if you have someone that you enroll and they purchase one of the Juby executive packages where you're going to get the inventory, what percentages are you paid if you're the personal enroller? If you are Jade, you get a 5% override. If you are Ruby, you get a 7%. If you are Emerald, you get 10%. Same thing if you're Diamond, you also get 10%. The difference in Emerald and Diamond is what happens with your second generation. Okay, there's about a 40% increase in income if you are a Diamond and someone on your second generation purchases the package than if you're Emerald and someone on your second generation purchases a package. That the latest training that we sent to corporate, actually we didn't send it to them, we just got it rendered right before this webinar. We're going to send it to them after this webinar. Covers the override income very in depth. So just like this this training webinar back here on the training covers the daily revenue in extreme depth, very comprehensive. Likewise, we've got a training, very comprehensive webinar that covers the generational overrides. What happens on your third generation? What happens if I'm Jade versus being Ruby, versus being Diamond, versus being Emerald, so on and so forth. Very, very, very detailed. That may show up as early as tomorrow. Okay? All right, I've got time for one more question here. Okay. Frank is asking, can I tell you what each individual package will contain? Frank, I don't know all the contents of the package. I know each one will contain a certain amount of Juby bucks and some other little goodies, but what it's in the $100 package versus the $2,500 package, that I don't know just yet. We'll probably know that in the next couple of days, and then Buddy will be more than happy to share that once we have a handle on that. Ladies and gentlemen, we weren't able to get to all of the questions, but looks like we did get to quite a few of those. Our next webinar, just like what we've done here tonight, same format, a little walkthrough optionally thereafter. Most of you have stuck around. The majority of folks stick around for the entire piece, and an optional Q&A. That's going to be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. And again, it's going to be at the same webinar link, Juby Rev Webinar. By the way, our presentation webinar link does not change. Okay, it's always jubyrevwebinar.com. jubyrevwebinar.com, so you can start tweeting that out and texting that out and what have you. You want to get your existing teammates on here as well as any prospects on here. Well, we love each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen. We're so proud of the phenomenal things that you guys are doing in JubyRev, JubyMax. Continue it and get your link out. We love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. And remember, JubyRev, JubyMax is not just a company. It's a movement. Good night, everyone.
The organizer has